so I'm talking about Pythagorean theorem, which is really fun. It's a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and you use this formula when you have a right triangle and you already know what two of the sides are. So here's an example of it, a, b, c. And you can only use this formula on a right triangle, not any other triangle. And the c is always the hypotenuse in the triangle. So here's an example. And the hypotenuse is always the longest side. So it doesn't matter where you put your a and your b. It just, you need to make sure the c is the hypotenuse. And here's an example of that. Yeah. So an example of how to use Pythagorean theorem is right here. It's kind of hard to see, but it's 6 squared plus 8 squared equals x squared. And the first thing you do is you solve out for the exponent. So it'd be 36 plus 64. And then you bring it over here, and it's 100 equals x squared. And the second step is to just solve for it. And so what you need to do is square root. We'll square both sides because you have a exponent, square root. Squared. And so the answer would be 10. And then the second example is here, it's right here. So you have both your leg, well, this is the hypotenuse, and then you want your other leg. So the first step that you need to do is identify both the legs and the hypotenuse and then substitute them in. So here's the equation, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And you just plug them both in. And we know the hypotenuse is 26 because it's the longest side, you can tell. And so that would make x and 24 the legs, and that's important for the equation. And so the next step you need to do is solve for the unknown and then start plugging in. So you would do x squared plus 24 squared equals 26 squared because you know the hypotenuse is c. And so that would equal, then you square root both sides, or yeah, just like you did in the last equation. And it's the same answer, but it's x equals 10. So that's just solving out. And that's it. That's how